Hi everyone, it's Tracy Murphy Poxtus and welcome to Good to Great in Under 8, the weekly show for motivated professionals who want to elevate leadership presence and increase career satisfaction. As you guys know, I'm live here on the Tracy Murphy Coaching Facebook page every Monday at noon. And if you're not able to catch me live, of course, you can view a recording of the show on the Learning Corner page of my website, tracymurphycoaching.com. So today, guys, I want to talk about something that holds many of us back from really being the leader that we know we can be. And it centers all around the stories that we likely tell ourselves. So if you're like most of us, you're always looking at a situation and trying to process and interpret meaning from it. So for example, let's say you're in a meeting and a colleague starts to ask a lot of questions about an approach that you're recommending. Well, you might start thinking something to the effect of, wow, this guy is relentless. What is up with all the questions? I bet he's trying to make me look bad in front of the other team members. And there it is, guys, the beginning of the story. You're telling yourself that this person's asking questions with the intent of making you look bad. Now, let's say the meeting ends and you go on about your day. But of course, if you're like most of us, you're still thinking about that meeting and it's kind of festering. And so now here's where your storytelling skills are really likely to take off. Now you might start telling yourself, aha, I know why he wants to make me look bad. We're both up for the same promotion. So he's trying to show that he's a better fit for the job than me. So now you can see your story starting to build. And the more you think about it, the more you're likely to continue that story, right? So maybe now you're continuing that story and saying something to the effect of, well, if he's going to try and make me look bad so he gets the promotion, I'll show him. In the next meeting, I'm going to start pointing out a few of his flaws so that other people see it and see why he might not be so right for that promotion. And then in the next meeting, that's exactly how you show up, right? Pointing out his flaws. And now, even if you think you might be doing this in a somewhat inconspicuous way, trust me, you won't be. You will likely be showing up and coming off as petty and probably a bit self-serving. So the point I'm making here, guys, is that the stories we tell ourselves really can cause us to show up in ways that can be detrimental to our own success and really keep us headed down the wrong path. So in the end, I know you're asking, well, what do we do about it? Well, the first thing is to really start recognizing and paying attention to when you might be telling yourself a story. And then when you recognize it, start asking yourself, what other rationale might exist that could explain this particular situation? Right, so in the above example, the story began when the person started believing that the other person's intent was really to make them look bad. Right there is when it's really important to recognize that the story is starting. You're starting to assign meaning to something that might not be true. Right? So then the next question to ask yourself is, well, how true is what I'm thinking? And what other rationale might explain what's going on? So maybe in the above example, we would ask, how true is it that this other person really wants to make me look bad? And what other reasons could they have for asking those questions? Right? Maybe they just didn't come prepared to the meeting, or maybe they were confused and they were seeking clarity. So now imagine if you had believed those things were true, how you would have shown up differently, right? Probably not pointing out that person's flaws in the next meeting. So the key points of today, guys, are be aware that as human beings, it is so natural for us to tell ourselves stories, and that these stories do get in the way of our success. And so the second thing is to try and start becoming more mindful of the stories you might be telling yourself. And then thirdly, challenge yourself to look outside the box at other possible reasons for why situations might be playing out the way they are. And maybe think about them with less judgment than maybe you currently are.